Long before the 12 tribes of Israel, another story unfolded, a tale of destiny, division, and divine promise. Journey into the forgotten history of Ishmael's 12 tribes, where ancient rivalries, prophetic legacies, and untold mysteries await. This is the complete story of the 12 tribes of Ishmael, like you've never heard before. The story of Ishmael begins with Abraham, a man whose unwavering faith made him a central figure in biblical history. Abraham's journey was marked by God's promise that he would become the father of many nations, a covenant that underpins much of the Old Testament. Yet this promise seemed distant as his wife, Sarah, remained barren for many years. In a time when lineage and descendants were not only a source of pride, but also a measure of one's legacy, Sarah's barrenness was a significant source of distress. In Genesis 16, verse 1-4, Sarah's desperation led her to take an extraordinary step. She offered her maidservant, Hagar, an Egyptian woman, to Abraham as a surrogate. This act, while culturally acceptable in ancient Near Eastern societies, brought with it emotional turmoil and unintended consequences. Hagar's conception was swift, but her pregnancy brought not the anticipated joy, but strife and discord within the household. Hagar, now carrying Abraham's child, began to look down upon Sarah, and Sarah, in turn, became embittered and harsh. The tension grew unbearable, forcing Hagar to flee into the harsh wilderness. It is in this moment of vulnerability and despair that Hagar's encounter with the angel of the Lord takes place, as recorded in Genesis 16, 7-12. This encounter is not merely a fleeting vision, but a profound moment of divine intervention. Alone by a spring in the desert, Hagar is approached by the angel of the Lord, who calls her by name, a significant detail that underscores her worth and identity in the eyes of God. "Hagar, slave of Sarai, where have you come from, and where are you going?" the angel asks. This question, though simple, echoes the universal human experience of seeking direction and purpose. Hagar's response is honest and filled with anguish. She is fleeing from her mistress, Sarah. The angel's instruction is unexpected and perhaps even difficult. Hagar is told to return to Sarah and submit to her authority. Yet, this command is accompanied by a promise that would forever change the course of her life. The angel declares that her descendants will be too numerous to count, a blessing that mirrors the promise given to Abraham. Furthermore, the angel reveals the character and destiny of her unborn son. "You shall name him Ishmael, for the Lord has heard your misery. He will be a wild donkey of a man. His hand will be against everyone, and everyone's hand against him, and he will live in hostility toward all his brothers." This prophecy is both a blessing and a forewarning, painting a picture of Ishmael as a fiercely independent and resilient figure, whose legacy would be marked by both conflict and strength. Hagar's recognition of this divine encounter is profound. She names the spring Bir Lahai Roy, meaning the well of the living one who sees me, a testament to the deep impact of being seen and acknowledged by God in her moment of need. This moment is significant not just for Hagar, but for the narrative of Ishmael, highlighting that his life was marked by divine attention and purpose, even before his birth. Ishmael's birth, recorded in Genesis 16-16, is a pivotal event. Abraham, at the age of 86, becomes a father, and for a time, Ishmael's presence seems to fulfill God's promise of descendants. Yet, the story does not end here. The tension within Abraham's household continues to simmer. Sarah's initial decision to use Hagar as a surrogate becomes a source of ongoing conflict, and the promise of a son through Sarah remains unfulfilled. 13 years later, in Genesis 17, God reaffirms his covenant with Abraham, changing his name from Abram, meaning exalted father, to Abraham, meaning father of many. This moment signifies the broad scope of God's promise, not limited to a single lineage but encompassing multiple nations. God also changes Sarai's name to Sarah, meaning princess, and promises that she will bear a son, Isaac, through whom the covenant will be established. However, God does not overlook Ishmael. In Genesis 17:20, God explicitly promises to bless Ishmael, stating, "I have heard you. I will surely bless him. I will make him fruitful and will greatly increase his numbers. He will be the father of 12 rulers, and I will make him into a great nation." The conflict between Sarah and Hagar, and by extension between Isaac and Ishmael, is emblematic of deeper themes within the biblical narrative. It reflects the human tendency to intervene in divine plans, the consequences of such actions, and the boundless grace of God that transcends human flaws. Sarah's jealousy and Hagar's pride mirror the complexities of human relationships, while God's promises to both Isaac and Ishmael underscore his impartiality and faithfulness. Ishmael's story is not one of rejection, but of parallel blessing. While Isaac's descendants would become the Israelites, Ishmael's descendants would form the 12 tribes that played a crucial role in the ancient Near East, particularly in trade, culture, and regional politics. Ishmael's significance in the biblical narrative is profound. His life embodies themes of rejection and acceptance, conflict and provision, human frailty and divine faithfulness. Ishmael's descendants, the 12 tribes, would become known for their strength, resilience, and influence. They are often overlooked in favor of Isaac's lineage, yet their story is equally compelling and integral to understanding the broader biblical and historical context. Ishmael's journey from a child born into conflict to the father of 12 powerful tribes underscores the complexity of God's plan and the enduring impact of his promises. His story serves as a reminder that God's plans are multifaceted and inclusive, extending beyond human expectations and societal norms. In exploring the complete story of the 12 tribes of Ishmael, we uncover not just historical facts, but timeless lessons about faith, perseverance, and the unseen hand of God in shaping nations and destinies. Ishmael's journey from rejection to God's provision is a profound testament to divine faithfulness amidst human conflict and frailty. His birth, as recorded in Genesis 16, verse 15 to 16, was marked by tension and uncertainty, yet it was evident from the beginning that Ishmael was destined for greatness. Born to Abraham and Hagar, Ishmael entered a world filled with strife, yet his life was intricately woven into God's plan. Abraham, at the age of 86, finally had a son, but the circumstances surrounding Ishmael's birth were far from ideal. Sarah's initial plan to build her family through Hagar had succeeded biologically, but emotionally, it created deep fractures within the household. Despite this, Ishmael's birth was significant. He was the firstborn of Abraham, a child born into conflict, yet destined for a future of prominence. His very name, Ishmael, meaning God hears, was a constant reminder that his life was not an accident, but a fulfillment of divine purpose, even amidst human turmoil. God's covenant with Ishmael, detailed in Genesis 7:20, underscores this divine purpose. While Isaac was the child of promise through whom the covenant would be established, God did not overlook Ishmael. Abraham, deeply concerned for his firstborn, pleaded with God to bless Ishmael. God's response was clear and compassionate. "As for Ishmael, I have heard you. I will surely bless him. I will make him fruitful and will greatly increase his numbers. He will be the father of 12 rulers, and I will make him into a great nation." This covenant was a profound assurance that Ishmael's life would not be one of obscurity, but of influence and legacy. The promise of 12 rulers not only mirrored the 12 tribes of Israel, but also established Ishmael's lineage as a significant force in history. Despite being outside the primary covenantal line, Ishmael's descendants would play a crucial role in the ancient world, highlighting God's inclusive plan that extended beyond the boundaries of human expectations. This covenant serves as a reminder that God's blessings are not confined to a single lineage, but encompass a broader scope of humanity. The wilderness experience, as narrated in Genesis 21:8-21, further illustrates God's provision for Ishmael amidst rejection. After the birth of Isaac, the tension within Abraham's household reached its peak. During a celebration for Isaac's weaning, Sarah observed Ishmael mocking, an act that intensified her animosity. Fearing that Ishmael might share in Isaac's inheritance, Sarah demanded that Abraham send Hagar and Ishmael away. This request grieved Abraham deeply, as Ishmael was his son, loved and cherished despite the circumstances of his birth. Yet God reassured Abraham, instructing him to listen to Sarah, with the promise that Ishmael would also become a great nation. Thus, Hagar and Ishmael were cast out into the harsh wilderness of Beersheba, a place where survival seemed impossible. With limited provisions, Hagar soon found herself unable to bear watching her son die of thirst, and she placed Ishmael under a bush, distancing herself as she wept. However, in this moment of utter despair, God's intervention was unmistakable. The angel of God called out to Hagar, assuring her that God had heard the boy's cries. A well of water miraculously appeared, providing them with the sustenance needed to survive. This encounter not only saved their lives, but reaffirmed God's commitment to his promises. Ishmael's survival in the wilderness was not merely a stroke of luck, but a demonstration of God's providential care, even when human circumstances seemed hopeless. As Ishmael grew, his life in the wilderness of Paran shaped his character and abilities. The harsh desert environment required resilience, adaptability, and strength, all of which Ishmael developed in abundance. He became a skilled archer, a vital skill for survival and defense in the rugged terrain he called home. Ishmael's proficiency with the bow and arrow was not just a testament to his physical abilities, but also symbolic of his independent and untamed spirit, as foretold by the angel of the Lord. His life was one of self-reliance and determination, qualities that would be passed down to his descendants. Ishmael's marriage to an Egyptian woman further connected him to the broader ancient world, intertwining his lineage with diverse cultures and expanding his influence. This union not only cemented his place in history, but also ensured that his descendants would be a blend of various traditions, contributing to the rich tapestry of ancient civilizations. The wilderness experience was more than a mere survival story. It was a transformative journey that defined Ishmael's identity. The wilderness, often seen as a place of desolation and abandonment, became a place of divine encounter and provision for Ishmael. This environment, harsh and unforgiving, honed Ishmael's strength and resilience. The image of Ishmael as a skilled archer is symbolic not only of his survival skills, but also of his ability to navigate the challenges of life with precision and focus. His life in the wilderness was not one of isolation, but of preparation. Every challenge he faced, every hardship he endured, was shaping him into the leader of a great nation. This period of Ishmael's life teaches us that even in the most challenging circumstances, there is purpose and preparation for greater things. Ishmael's marriage to an Egyptian woman further highlights the blend of cultures and influences that would characterize his descendants. Egypt, known for its rich history and advanced civilization, brought a unique dimension to Ishmael's lineage. This union ensured that Ishmael's descendants would have a diverse heritage, combining the nomadic resilience of the wilderness with the cultural sophistication of Egypt. This blend not only enriched Ishmael's lineage, but also positioned his descendants as influential players in the ancient world, bridging different cultures and regions through trade, alliances, and shared histories. The promise of 12 rulers from Ishmael's lineage is significant not just numerically, but symbolically. The number 12, often associated with completeness and divine order in the Bible, signifies that Ishmael's descendants were part of a divine plan. Each of the 12 rulers would contribute to the legacy of Ishmael, establishing tribes that would thrive in the ancient world. This promise also underscores the parallel between Ishmael's descendants and the 12 tribes of Israel, highlighting that God's plan was inclusive, encompassing multiple lineages and nations. Ishmael's journey from rejection to provision is a narrative filled with lessons of faith, resilience, and divine faithfulness. Despite being cast out and facing immense challenges, Ishmael's life was marked by divine intervention and provision at every turn. His story serves as a powerful reminder that God's plans are often beyond human comprehension and that His provision is always present, even in the most difficult circumstances. Ishmael's legacy is one of strength, independence, and influence, a legacy that continues to resonate through generations. His life challenges us to see beyond immediate struggles and trust in the greater plan that God has for each of us. As we delve deeper into the story of Ishmael and his 12 tribes, we uncover not just historical facts, but timeless lessons about faith, perseverance, and the unwavering provision of God. The story of the 12 tribes of Ishmael is a profound fulfillment of God's promise to Abraham and Hagar, illustrating the far-reaching impact of Ishmael's descendants in the ancient world. In Genesis 25:12-16, the Bible meticulously lists the 12 sons of Ishmael, each of whom became the progenitor of a tribe that played a significant role in shaping the history, culture, and economy of the Arabian Peninsula and beyond. The naming of these 12 tribes is not merely a genealogical record, but a testament to God's faithfulness in fulfilling his covenant with Ishmael. Each tribe carries a unique identity, reflecting various aspects of life in the ancient Near East, from trade and commerce to warfare and culture. The 12 tribes of Ishmael, Nebaioth, Kedar, Adbeel, Mibsam, Mishma, Duma, Massa, Hadad, Tema, Jeter, Naphish, and Kedemah, stand as pillars of resilience, adaptability, and influence, each contributing to the rich tapestry of Arabian history. The significance of each tribe's name adds depth to their stories and highlights their distinct roles in history. Nebaioth, the firstborn, is often associated with pastoral wealth and trade, particularly in livestock. His name, meaning heights, symbolizes his tribe's elevated status in ancient Arabian society, particularly in trade routes that crisscross the desert. Kedar, whose name means dark or swarthy, is famously known for its black tents, symbolizing the nomadic lifestyle of the tribe and their prominence in shepherding and archery. Adbeel, meaning grieved by God, reflects a tribe known for its trade connections and settlements, serving as vital links in the commercial networks of the ancient world. Mibsam, meaning fragrance, evokes the rich trade in spices and aromatic goods that flourished in northern Arabia, where his tribe settled. Mishma, meaning a hearing, is remembered for their oral traditions and storytelling, preserving and passing down knowledge through generations. Duma, whose name means silence, is often linked to the Arabian desert region and frequently symbolized in biblical prophecy, highlighting its strategic importance. Massa, meaning burden or oracle, is renowned for wisdom, with some scholars suggesting they might be the ancestors of the wise men mentioned in the New Testament. Hadad, meaning thunder, signifies strength and influence, particularly in the desert territories where his tribe thrived. Tema, meaning sunburnt or desert, is known for its oasis settlements and is mentioned in the Book of Job, underscoring its historical and geographical significance. Jetur, meaning enclosed or protected, became known for their martial prowess, eventually becoming part of the Hagrites, known for their conflicts and alliances with other tribes. Naphish, meaning refreshed, is celebrated for their pastoral wealth and extensive flocks, contributing significantly to the region's economy. Finally, Kedemah, meaning eastern, settled in the eastern deserts, becoming key players in caravan routes that connected various regions through trade. Nebaioth, the firstborn son of Ishmael, holds a place of prominence among the 12 tribes, symbolizing leadership, wealth, and influence. As the eldest, Nebaioth inherited the responsibility of establishing a strong foundation for his descendants, who would become known for their pastoral wealth and dominance in trade, particularly livestock. His name, meaning heights or eminence, aptly reflects the elevated status of his tribe in the ancient Arabian world. Nebaioth's legacy is intricately tied to the pastoral economy, with historical records indicating that his tribe specialized in the breeding and trading of sheep, goats, and camels. These animals were not merely commodities, but essential resources for survival, transportation, and economic exchange in the harsh desert environment. The tribe's wealth in livestock positioned them as key players in the region's trade networks, connecting various cities and settlements through the exchange of goods. The influence of Nebaioth's tribe extended beyond commerce, as they played a crucial role in the political landscape of ancient Arabia. Their control over trade routes granted them significant power, enabling them to forge alliances with neighboring tribes and city-states. This political leverage ensured their tribe's stability and prosperity, making them respected and often envied by others. Nebaioth's descendants were known for their shrewdness in negotiations and their ability to maintain autonomy despite the volatile nature of tribal politics in the region. Historical and biblical references, including mentions in the book of Isaiah, highlight Nebaioth's tribe's contributions to the broader cultural and economic milieu. Isaiah 60, verse 7, for instance, references the flocks of Kedar and the rams of Nebaioth being brought as offerings, underscoring their wealth and the high regard in which they were held. Nebaioth's tribe also contributed to the cultural fabric of ancient Arabia through their nomadic lifestyle, which was characterized by mobility, adaptability, and resilience. Their black tents, a hallmark of their nomadic existence, became symbols of hospitality and tradition. These tents, often pitched in the vast deserts, were not just shelters but centers of social and economic activity, where trade agreements were made, stories were shared, and alliances were forged. The tribe's ability to thrive in the unforgiving desert environment is a testament to their resourcefulness and hardiness, qualities that Nebaioth himself likely embodied and instilled in his descendants. Moreover, Nebaioth's legacy is also reflected in the tribe's interactions with other significant figures and tribes of the time. Their involvement in trade meant that they were in constant contact with various cultures, leading to a rich exchange of ideas, goods, and traditions. This cross-cultural interaction not only enhanced their economic standing, but also enriched their cultural heritage, making them a vibrant and dynamic community. Nebaioth's tribe, through their economic activities, political alliances, and cultural contributions, laid a strong foundation for the subsequent tribes of Ishmael, establishing a legacy of prosperity, influence, and resilience that would endure for generations. Kedar, the second son of Ishmael, is renowned for his strength, resilience, and significant contributions to Arabian culture and trade. His name, meaning dark or swarthy, is believed to reflect the black tents for which his tribe became famous, symbolizing their nomadic lifestyle and deep-rooted connection to the desert. The tribe of Kedar quickly rose to prominence due to their exceptional skills in shepherding, particularly their vast herds of sheep and camels, which became highly sought after in regional markets. Kedar's descendants were known for their unwavering resilience, thriving in the harsh desert conditions where survival demanded both physical endurance and strategic acumen. Their mastery of archery further established them as formidable warriors, earning them respect and fear among neighboring tribes. The image of Kedar's archers became emblematic of precision and strength, often highlighted in historical and biblical texts. The tribe of Kedar's influence extended well beyond their pastoral wealth. They played a critical role in the trade networks that spanned the Arabian Peninsula, connecting major trading hubs such as Petra, Mecca, and Damascus. Their black tents, often seen scattered across desert landscapes, served as vital trading posts where merchants from distant lands converged to exchange goods, ideas, and culture. This strategic position in trade routes allowed the Kedarites to amass considerable wealth and establish themselves as key players in the ancient economy. Their caravans, laden with spices, textiles, and precious metals, traversed vast deserts, facilitating commerce between the east and the west. The tribe of Kedar's economic prowess was not merely confined to trade. They also engaged in diplomacy and formed alliances that secured their influence and ensured their survival in an era marked by constant tribal conflicts. Biblical references further underscore Kedar's significance, with the tribe frequently mentioned in prophetic texts. Isaiah 21 verse 16-17, for instance, prophesies the decline of Kedar's glory, highlighting their historical importance and eventual transformation over time. Additionally, Isaiah 60 verse 7 mentions the flocks of Kedar being brought as offerings, emphasizing their wealth and the esteem in which they were held. The tribe of Kedar's contributions to Arabian culture are evident in their nomadic traditions, which influence the Bedouin lifestyle that persists to this day. Their emphasis on hospitality, honor, and oral storytelling enriched the cultural landscape of the region, preserving history and heritage through generations. Kedar's legacy is also marked by their interactions with other ancient civilizations, including the Assyrians and Babylonians. Historical records indicate that the Kedarites often found themselves in conflict with these powerful empires. Yet they managed to maintain their autonomy through strategic warfare and diplomacy. The resilience of the tribe of Kedar, their economic ingenuity, and cultural contributions make them one of the most prominent and enduring tribes of Ishmael, embodying the strength and spirit that characterized Ishmael's descendants. Adbeel and Mibsam, though often overshadowed by more prominent tribes like Nebaioth and Kedar, played significant roles in the ancient Arabian world through their contributions to trade, commerce, and regional alliances. Adbeel, whose name means grieved by God, is believed to have established a tribe that excelled in trade connections and settlements, serving as vital intermediaries in the bustling commercial networks of the ancient Near East. Positioned strategically along key trade routes, the tribe of Adbeel facilitated the exchange of goods between Mesopotamia, Arabia, and the Levant. Their settlements, often located near oases and caravan routes, became essential rest stops for merchants, offering provisions, shelter, and security in an otherwise harsh and unforgiving desert landscape. This role not only enriched the tribe economically, but also positioned them as crucial players in regional diplomacy, as controlling trade routes often meant wielding significant influence over surrounding territories. Mibsam, whose name means fragrance, evokes the aromatic trade that flourished in northern Arabia, where his tribe is believed to have settled. The tribe of Mibsam became renowned for their involvement in the spice trade, dealing in highly coveted commodities such as frankincense, myrrh, and various other aromatic resins. These goods were not only valued for their use in religious rituals and medicine, but also for their luxurious appeal in the courts of ancient empires like Egypt, Babylon, and Persia. Mibsam's descendants established trade routes that connected southern Arabia, known for its rich supply of spices, with northern markets, creating a lucrative economic network that sustained their tribe's prosperity for generations. Their knowledge of trade routes, desert navigation, and commerce allowed them to thrive in an era where wealth was often determined by one's control over trade. Despite being less frequently mentioned in historical and biblical records, the tribes of Adbeel and Mibsam contributed significantly to the economic and cultural fabric of ancient Arabia. Their ability to adapt to the harsh desert environment, establish thriving trade networks, and maintain diplomatic relations with neighboring tribes and empires showcases their resilience and ingenuity. Adbeel's focus on settlements and trade infrastructure laid the groundwork for the development of bustling trade centers, while Mibsam's involvement in the aromatic trade added to the region's economic diversity. Together, these tribes exemplified the lesser-known yet impactful descendants of Ishmael, whose contributions to ancient commerce and alliances ensured their place in history. Their legacy, though often overlooked, is a testament to the diverse and dynamic nature of Ishmael's 12 tribes, each playing a unique role in shaping the ancient world's economic and cultural landscape. Mishma, Duma, and Massa, 3 of Ishmael's 12 sons, formed tribes that became central powerhouses in the Arabian Peninsula, significantly influencing trade routes, cultural exchanges, and regional politics. Mishma, whose name means a hearing, is often associated with the preservation and transmission of oral traditions. In an era where written records were scarce, the tribe of Mishma played a crucial role in maintaining and passing down stories, laws, and cultural practices through generations. Their mastery of oral storytelling not only preserved historical narratives, but also enriched the cultural identity of the Arabian Peninsula. The Mishmites, known for their eloquence and wisdom, became respected figures in councils and gatherings, where decisions were often influenced by their knowledge of history and tradition. Their contributions to the cultural heritage of Arabia cannot be overstated, as they ensured that the stories of their ancestors, including Ishmael's journey, remained alive and relevant. Duma, meaning silence, is often linked to the Arabian desert region known as Duma al-Jandal, an ancient city that served as a critical hub for trade and commerce. Situated in present-day northern Saudi Arabia, Duma al-Jandal became a bustling trade center due to its strategic location along major caravan routes. The tribe of Duma capitalized on this advantage, facilitating the exchange of goods such as spices, textiles, and precious metals between Mesopotamia, the Levant, and the southern Arabian kingdoms. The cities mentioned in biblical prophecy, particularly in Isaiah 21:11, underscores its significance in ancient times. The Dumahites were not just traders but also skilled diplomats, managing relationships with various tribes and empires that sought access to the lucrative trade routes they controlled. Their ability to navigate complex political landscapes while maintaining economic prosperity highlights their strategic acumen and resilience. Masa, meaning burden or oracle, is often associated with wisdom and foresight. Some scholars believe that the tribe of Masa might be the ancestors of the wise men mentioned in the New Testament, renowned for their knowledge of astronomy, prophecy, and natural sciences. The Masaites were respected for their counsel and often sought after by rulers and leaders for advice on matters ranging from governance to warfare. Their settlements, located in Central Arabia, served as centers of learning and intellectual exchange, attracting scholars and traders alike. The tribe of Masa's emphasis on knowledge and wisdom contributed significantly to the intellectual development of the region, influencing not only their contemporaries but also future generations. Together, Mishma, Duma, and Masa formed a formidable triad that shaped the economic, cultural, and intellectual landscape of Central Arabia. Their strategic positions along trade routes, coupled with their contributions to oral tradition, commerce, and wisdom, ensured their lasting legacy in the annals of history. These tribes exemplify the diverse strengths and capabilities of Ishmael's descendants, each contributing uniquely to the flourishing of the ancient Arabian world. Hadad and Tema, two of Ishmael's 12 sons, established tribes that became renowned for their cultural, religious, and economic contributions to ancient Arabia. Hadad, whose name means thunder, is often associated with strength, power, and influence. The tribe of Hadad thrived in the desert territories, where their resilience and resourcefulness enabled them to become dominant figures in trade and warfare. Known for their military prowess, the Hadadites often played crucial roles in regional conflicts, serving as both defenders of their territory and mercenaries for hire. Their reputation for strength and strategic warfare earned them respect and fear among neighboring tribes, while their influence extended to alliances with powerful kingdoms. The thunderous presence of the tribe of Hadad in the Arabian Peninsula symbolized not just their military might, but also their dynamic role in shaping the region's political landscape. Their legacy is reflected in historical texts that highlight their contributions to maintaining balance and order in a region often marked by tribal rivalries and shifting alliances. Tema, meaning desert or sunburnt, is best known for the ancient city of Tema, an important oasis settlement that served as a vital center for trade, culture, and religious practices. Located in present-day northwestern Saudi Arabia, the city of Tema was strategically positioned along key trade routes that connected Arabia with Mesopotamia and the Levant. The tribe of Tema capitalized on this advantageous location, establishing a flourishing trade network that facilitated the exchange of goods such as spices, textiles, and precious metals. Beyond their economic contributions, the Temanites were also known for their cultural and religious influence. The city of Tema is mentioned in the book of Job, Job 6:19, indicating its prominence in the ancient world. As an oasis settlement, Tema became a melting pot of cultures, where merchants, scholars, and travelers converged, leading to a rich exchange of ideas, traditions, and beliefs. The tribe of Tema's commitment to hospitality and trade made their city a beacon of stability and prosperity in an otherwise harsh desert environment. Hadad and Tema, though distinct in their roles, together represented the cultural and religious pillars of Ishmael's descendants. Hadad's tribe contributed to the region's defense and political stability, while Tema's tribe enriched the cultural and economic fabric through trade and intellectual exchange. The religious significance of Tema, with its temples and sanctuaries, attracted pilgrims and scholars, making it a center for spiritual practices and philosophical discourse. The blend of military strength and cultural sophistication exemplified by these two tribes highlights the multifaceted nature of Ishmael's lineage. Their legacy is one of resilience, adaptability, and influence, contributing to the enduring heritage of the Arabian Peninsula. The tribes of Hadad and Tema not only ensured the survival of their people through warfare and trade, but also laid the groundwork for cultural and religious developments that would shape the region for centuries to come, leaving an indelible mark on the history of Ishmael's descendants. Jetur, Naphish, and Kedema, the final three tribes descended from Ishmael, played significant roles in ancient conflicts, alliances, and the economic development of the Arabian Peninsula. Each of these tribes contributed uniquely to the legacy of Ishmael's descendants, demonstrating the strength, resilience, and adaptability that characterized his lineage. Jetur, whose name means enclosed or protected, became known for its skilled warriors and formidable defenses. The Jeturites were recognized for their military expertise, often engaging in battles with neighboring tribes and kingdoms. Their proficiency in warfare made them valuable allies and formidable opponents, leading to their incorporation into the Hagrites, a confederation of tribes known for their martial prowess. Historical records, including references in 1 Chronicles 5:18-22, highlight the Jeturites' involvement in conflicts during King David's reign, where they played crucial roles in territorial expansions and defense strategies. Their legacy as warriors ensured their tribe's survival and influence in a region marked by constant power struggles. Naphish, meaning refreshed, is celebrated for its pastoral wealth and contributions to the region's economy. The Naphishites thrived in the vast deserts, where they established extensive herds of sheep, goats, and camels. Their expertise in animal husbandry not only provided sustenance for their tribe, but also positioned them as key suppliers of livestock to neighboring regions. The pastoral wealth of Naphish contributed significantly to the Arabian economy, as livestock was a vital commodity used for trade, food, and transportation. The tribe's ability to maintain large herds in the challenging desert environment showcased their resourcefulness and adaptability. Naphish's descendants played essential roles in the region's trade networks, ensuring a steady flow of goods and resources that sustained the economic vitality of the Arabian Peninsula. Kedema, meaning eastern, settled in the eastern deserts, where they became prominent figures in caravan trade routes that connected the Arabian Peninsula with Mesopotamia, Persia, and beyond. The Kedemahite strategic location allowed them to control and facilitate trade, making them essential intermediaries in the exchange of goods, such as spices, textiles, and precious metals. Their expertise in desert navigation and trade logistics ensured the safe and efficient movement of caravans across vast and treacherous landscapes. The Kedemahites' contributions to trade not only enriched their tribe, but also strengthened the economic ties between different regions, fostering cultural exchanges and diplomatic relations. Their legacy as traders and navigators highlights the importance of commerce in the survival and prosperity of Ishmael's descendants. Together, Jetur, Naphish, and Kedema exemplify the diverse strengths of Ishmael's 12 tribes. From military prowess and pastoral wealth to trade and diplomacy, these final three tribes played crucial roles in shaping the history and economy of the ancient Near East. Their legacy endures as a testament to the multifaceted contributions of Ishmael's descendants, whose influence spanned across cultures, economies, and histories, leaving an indelible mark on the ancient world. The Ishmaelites hold a unique and significant place in the biblical narrative, their presence weaving through key events that shaped the course of biblical history. One of the most well-known instances where the Ishmaelites are prominently featured is in the story of Joseph, as recorded in Genesis 37:25-28. Joseph, the beloved son of Jacob, found himself betrayed by his own brothers, who, out of jealousy and resentment, sought to rid themselves of him. Initially contemplating killing him, they ultimately decided to sell him into slavery. It is here that the Ishmaelites entered the scene, becoming unwitting agents in the fulfillment of Joseph's destiny. As Joseph's brothers sat down to eat, they saw a caravan of Ishmaelites approaching from Gilead, their camels laden with spices, balm, and myrrh, bound for Egypt. This detail is significant as it highlights the Ishmaelites' involvement in long-distance trade, a testament to their economic influence and commercial expertise. The goods they carried, spices, balm, and myrrh, were highly valued commodities, essential not only for trade, but also for medicinal, religious, and cultural practices. The Ishmaelites' role in the sale of Joseph underscores their prominence in the ancient trade networks that connected various regions, including Canaan, Egypt, and beyond. The transaction between Joseph's brothers and the Ishmaelites is more than just a historical account. It serves as a pivotal moment in the biblical narrative, leading to Joseph's eventual rise to power in Egypt. The Ishmaelites, though often seen as peripheral figures, played a critical role in this unfolding drama. Their caravan became the vehicle through which Joseph's journey to Egypt commenced, setting the stage for the subsequent events that would see him become a key figure in Egypt's administration. This story also sheds light on the interactions between the descendants of Abraham through Ishmael and those through Isaac, illustrating the complex and intertwined relationships between these lineages. The Ishmaelites' involvement in trade is further emphasized by their presence along major trade routes, where they facilitated the exchange of goods, ideas, and cultures, contributing to the economic vitality of the ancient Near East. Another significant mention of the Ishmaelites in the Bible occurs during the time of King David, particularly in 1 Chronicles 5:18-22, where the Reubenites, Gadites, and the half-tribe of Manasseh waged war against the Hagrites, a confederation of tribes descended from Ishmael. This battle highlights the martial prowess of the Ishmaelites and their involvement in regional conflicts. The biblical account details how the Israelite tribes, despite being outnumbered, triumphed over the Hagrites with God's assistance, capturing their livestock, goods, and land. The Hagrites, known for their strength and resilience, posed a formidable challenge, but their defeat underscores the shifting power dynamics in the region. This encounter also illustrates the ongoing interactions, often marked by conflict, between the descendants of Isaac and Ishmael. The Ishmaelites' ability to engage in warfare and maintain their territorial integrity speaks to their strategic acumen and resourcefulness, qualities that were essential for survival in the volatile landscape of the ancient Near East. The legacy of the Ishmaelites in the biblical narrative is multifaceted, encompassing trade, conflict, and cultural exchange. Their role in the story of Joseph highlights their economic influence, while their involvement in battles during King David's time underscores their military capabilities. The Ishmaelites' presence in these accounts is not merely incidental. It reflects their significant contributions to the historical and cultural fabric of the ancient world. As descendants of Ishmael, they embodied the characteristics foretold by the angel of the Lord: fiercely independent, resilient, and influential. Their legacy extends beyond their immediate interactions with the Israelites, as they played a crucial role in the broader historical context shaping the economic, political, and cultural landscape of their time. The Ishmaelites' story in the Bible serves as a reminder of the intricate and often complex relationships between different lineages, highlighting the enduring impact of Ishmael's descendants on biblical history and beyond. The prophetic mentions of the Ishmaelites in the Bible highlight their enduring presence and significance in the ancient world, reflecting both their historical influence and their role in the unfolding divine plan. One of the most notable prophetic references is found in Isaiah 66-7, where the prophet Isaiah envisions a future time of restoration and glory for Zion. In this vision, the tribes of Kedar and Nebaioth, descendants of Ishmael, are seen bringing offerings to God, symbolizing their inclusion in the divine blessing and their contributions to the prosperity of God's people. The passage states, "Herds of camels will cover your land, young camels of Midian and Ephah. All from Sheba will come, bearing gold and incense and proclaiming the praise of the Lord. All Kedar's flocks will be gathered to you. The rams of Nebaioth will serve you. They will be accepted as offerings on my altar, and I will adorn my glorious temple." This vivid imagery underscores the wealth and importance of the Ishmaelite tribes, particularly in terms of their pastoral wealth and economic contributions. The mention of camels, gold, and incense reflects the trade and commerce that the Ishmaelites were renowned for, while their offerings being accepted on God's altar signifies their inclusion in the spiritual restoration and their recognition as part of the broader covenantal blessings. The prophecy of Isaiah not only highlights the economic and cultural significance of the Ishmaelites, but also points to a future where their descendants play a role in the worship and service of God. This inclusion is particularly noteworthy given the historical tensions between the descendants of Isaac and Ishmael. The vision presented by Isaiah suggests a future reconciliation and unity, where the divisions of the past are transcended, and all nations, including the Ishmaelites, come together to worship the one true God. This prophetic mention serves as a testament to the far-reaching impact of Ishmael's descendants and their enduring legacy in the biblical narrative. Another significant prophetic mention is found in Jeremiah 49 verse 28 to 33, where the prophet Jeremiah delivers a message of judgment against Kedar and the kingdoms of Hazor. The prophecy states, concerning Kedar and the kingdoms of Hazor, which Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon attacked, arise and attack Kedar and destroy the people of the east. Their tents and their flocks will be taken. Their shelters will be carried off with all their goods and camels. People will shout to them, terror on every side. Flee quickly away. Stay in deep caves, you who live in Hazor, declares the Lord. Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon has plotted against you. He has devised a plan against you. This prophecy highlights the vulnerability of the Ishmaelite tribes to external threats, particularly from powerful empires like Babylon. The mention of tents, flocks, and camels once again emphasizes the nomadic lifestyle and economic activities of the Ishmaelites, while the judgment pronounced upon them reflects the broader geopolitical realities of the time. However, Jeremiah's prophecy is not solely one of doom. It also contains elements of restoration. The cyclical nature of judgment and restoration is a recurring theme in biblical prophecy, and the Ishmaelites are no exception. While they faced periods of hardship and subjugation, their resilience and adaptability ensured their survival and continued influence. The prophecy serves as a reminder of the transient nature of power and the enduring legacy of those who, despite facing adversity, continue to thrive and contribute to the fabric of history. The prophetic mentions of the Ishmaelites in the Bible underscore their significance not only as historical figures, but also as integral components of the biblical narrative. Their inclusion in prophecies of restoration and judgment highlights their complex relationship with the Israelites and their enduring impact on the ancient world. The Ishmaelites' wealth, trade, and pastoral economy are consistently emphasized, reflecting their importance in the economic and cultural exchanges of the time. Moreover, the prophetic visions of their inclusion in worship and their interactions with powerful empires like Babylon illustrate the multifaceted nature of their legacy. The Ishmaelites' story, as seen through the lens of biblical prophecy, is one of resilience, influence, and eventual reconciliation, reflecting the broader themes of divine providence, judgment, and restoration that permeate the biblical text. The influence of Ishmael's tribes on the Arab world is profound and enduring, shaping the cultural, economic, and social fabric of the region in ways that continue to resonate today. Ishmael, as the father of many nations, holds a significant place in both biblical and Islamic traditions, and his descendants, the 12 tribes of Ishmael, laid the foundation for what would later become the Arab world. The connection between Ishmael and the Arab lineage is deeply rooted in historical narratives, with many Arab tribes tracing their ancestry back to Ishmael. This lineage is particularly emphasized in Islamic tradition, where Ishmael, known as Ismail in Arabic, is revered as a prophet and the forefather of the Arab people, including the Quraysh tribe from which the Prophet Muhammad descended. This genealogical link not only underscores the importance of Ishmael's descendants in the formation of the Arab identity, but also highlights the shared heritage between the Abrahamic faiths. The Ishmaelites' influence on the Arab world is perhaps most evident in their contributions to trade, which became a cornerstone of Arabian economic life. The descendants of Ishmael, known for their expertise in desert navigation and commerce, established and maintained vital trade routes that connected the Arabian Peninsula with Africa, Asia, and Europe. These trade routes, including the famous incense route, facilitated the exchange of goods such as spices, incense, textiles, and precious metals, enriching the region and fostering economic prosperity. The Ishmaelites' ability to traverse the harsh desert landscapes with their caravans not only ensured the flow of goods but also promoted cultural exchanges, as merchants, scholars, and travelers from different regions interacted and shared ideas. This blending of cultures contributed to the development of a rich and diverse Arabian culture that absorbed and integrated influences from various civilizations, including Mesopotamia, Persia, and the Mediterranean. Language is another area where the influence of Ishmael's tribes is evident. The Arabic language, with its poetic richness and linguistic complexity, owes much to the oral traditions preserved by Ishmael's descendants. The nomadic lifestyle of the Ishmaelites, which necessitated storytelling as a means of preserving history and knowledge, laid the groundwork for the development of Arabic as a language of poetry, prose, and scholarship. The oral traditions of tribes like Mishma, known for their storytelling prowess, contributed to the linguistic heritage that would later flourish in the classical Arabic period. This linguistic legacy is not only reflected in the Quran, the holy book of Islam, but also in the rich tradition of Arabic poetry and literature that has captivated audiences for centuries. The nomadic traditions of the Ishmaelites also played a crucial role in shaping the social structure of the Arab world. The values of hospitality, honor, and loyalty, which were integral to the Ishmaelite tribes, became foundational principles of Bedouin culture. The black tents of Kedar, symbolizing the nomadic lifestyle, became synonymous with Arabian hospitality, where travelers and guests were welcomed and cared for with utmost respect. The Ishmaelites' emphasis on kinship and tribal loyalty influenced the social organization of the Arab world, where tribal affiliations and familial ties continue to hold significant importance. This social structure provided stability and cohesion in a region characterized by vast deserts and limited resources, ensuring the survival and prosperity of communities through mutual support and cooperation. The cultural contributions of the Ishmaelites extend to their advancements in trade practices, warfare, and craftsmanship. The tribes of Ishmael were known for their expertise in archery, a skill that not only provided them with means of defense and hunting, but also became a revered art form in Arabian culture. The Kedarites, in particular, were celebrated for their archery skills, and their legacy is reflected in the importance of archery in Arab martial traditions. Additionally, the craftsmanship of Ishmael's descendants, particularly in textiles and metalwork, contributed to the economic and cultural vibrancy of the region. The production of fine textiles, including the black tents made from goat hair, and the creation of intricate metalwork, including weapons and jewelry, showcased the artistic and technical skills of the Ishmaelites. The legacy of Ishmael's tribes in the Arab world is also evident in the religious and philosophical contributions that emerged from the region. The spiritual practices and beliefs of the Ishmaelites, influenced by their interactions with various cultures, contributed to the development of religious thought in the Arabian Peninsula. The emphasis on monotheism, a core principle in Abrahamic faiths, found resonance in the teachings of Islam, which emerged from the heart of Arabia. The historical connection between Ishmael and the construction of the Kaaba in Mecca, along with his role in Islamic tradition as a prophet, underscores the deep religious significance of Ishmael's descendants. The Kaaba, which serves as the holiest site in Islam, is believed to have been built by Abraham and Ishmael as a house of worship for the one true God, a narrative that reinforces the spiritual legacy of Ishmael's lineage. In conclusion, the influence of Ishmael's tribes on the Arab world is multifaceted, encompassing trade, language, social structure, culture, and religion. The descendants of Ishmael not only shaped the economic and cultural landscape of the Arabian Peninsula, but also laid the foundation for the development of the Arab identity and Islamic civilization. Their contributions to trade and commerce facilitated economic prosperity, their oral traditions enriched the Arabic language, their social values provided stability, and their religious legacy continues to inspire millions. The story of Ishmael's tribes is a testament to their resilience, ingenuity, and enduring impact, making them an integral part of the historical and cultural heritage of the Arab world. Ishmael's covenant with God stands as a profound testament to divine faithfulness, illustrating that even in the face of human rejection and adversity, God's promises remain steadfast. Ishmael's life embodies the unyielding grace of God, who, despite Ishmael not being the child of the covenant made with Abraham through Sarah, still extended abundant blessings to him. In Genesis 17:20, God explicitly declares his intention to bless Ishmael, promising to make him fruitful and the father of 12 rulers, ultimately establishing a great nation. This covenant highlights God's unfailing promise to Abraham's son, underscoring the divine commitment to fulfill his word irrespective of human circumstances. Ishmael's blessing serves as a powerful reminder that God's faithfulness transcends human expectations, providing reassurance that his plans are inclusive and all-encompassing. The narrative of Ishmael's covenant reveals a God who listens, sees, and provides, ensuring that no one is left forgotten or abandoned. The covenant with Ishmael is significant not just because of the promise itself, but because of the context in which it was made. Abraham's deep love for his firstborn son and his plea to God in Genesis 7:18, "If only Ishmael might live under your blessing," elicited a response that affirmed God's compassionate nature. Although the primary covenant was established with Isaac, God's acknowledgement of Ishmael's worth and his commitment to bless him demonstrates a broader aspect of divine love. Ishmael's covenant is a reflection of God's ability to bless abundantly, even when circumstances seem less than ideal. It is a testament to the fact that God's blessings are not limited by human choices or societal norms, but are instead driven by his boundless grace and mercy. The contrast between Ishmael and Isaac's covenants further enriches the spiritual significance of Ishmael's story. Isaac, as the child of promise, was the one through whom God's covenant with Abraham would be established, leading to the formation of the Israelite nation. This covenant, marked by the promise of land, descendants, and blessings, positioned Isaac as the chosen heir within the biblical narrative. However, Ishmael's covenant, while distinct, is no less significant. Unlike Isaac's covenant, which was based on God's predetermined plan, Ishmael's blessing was born out of divine mercy and compassion. Abraham's plea for Ishmael in Genesis 17:18, where he asks God to bless his firstborn, evokes a response from God that not only acknowledges Ishmael's existence, but also ensures his prosperity. This juxtaposition highlights the multifaceted nature of God's covenantal relationships. Where one is chosen for a specific purpose, another is blessed out of divine love and mercy. Ishmael's covenant, therefore, stands as a testament to God's inclusive grace, showing that his blessings are not confined to a single lineage, but extend to all who are part of his creation. This contrast also invites reflection on the nature of divine selection and human response. Isaac's covenant was one of promise, while Ishmael's was one of provision. Both were integral to God's plan, yet each served different purposes. Isaac's covenant laid the foundation for the Israelite nation and the coming of the Messiah, while Ishmael's covenant established a legacy of resilience, strength, and influence that would shape the Arab world. This duality reflects the broader theme of God's plan, encompassing diverse paths and purposes, each contributing to the fulfillment of his divine will. The lessons from Ishmael's life resonate deeply with themes of divine provision and unwavering faith. One of the most poignant moments that encapsulate God's providence is Hagar's encounter at the well, as recorded in Genesis 21:14-19. Cast out from Abraham's household, Hagar and Ishmael found themselves in the desolate wilderness of Beersheba, facing the harsh reality of survival with dwindling resources. As Hagar placed her son under a bush, unable to witness his impending death from thirst, she wept in despair. Yet, in this moment of utter helplessness, God's intervention was both immediate and compassionate. the angel of God called out to Hagar, reassuring her that God had heard the cries of the boy. The miraculous provision of a well not only saved their lives, but also symbolized God's unwavering presence and care. This encounter serves as a timeless reminder that God sees and provides, especially in moments when all hope seems lost. Hagar's well, often referred to as Bir Lahai Roy, meaning the well of the living one who sees me, stands as a beacon of God's attentive love and provision, reinforcing the belief that God's eyes are always upon his people, ready to provide in their time of need. This moment is particularly significant because it highlights the personal nature of God's care. Hagar, an Egyptian maidservant, and Ishmael, a child born out of complex circumstances, were not forgotten by God. Their story underscores the inclusive nature of God's love, showing that his grace extends to all, regardless of status, background, or circumstances. The well in the wilderness symbolizes the idea that God's provision is often found in the most unexpected places, offering hope and sustenance when it is needed most. This narrative challenges believers to trust in God's provision, even when faced with seemingly insurmountable challenges. Ishmael's journey from rejection to becoming the father of nations encapsulates the profound truth that God's plan prevails despite human limitations and failures. Rejected from his father's household and thrust into the wilderness, Ishmael's future seemed bleak. Yet, God's promise to Abraham ensured that Ishmael's life would not be one of obscurity, but of greatness. His descendants, the 12 tribes of Ishmael, became influential players in the ancient world, contributing to trade, culture, and regional politics. Ishmael's story is a testament to the redemptive power of God's plan, demonstrating that rejection by men does not equate to rejection by God. Instead, it often serves as a catalyst for divine elevation and fulfillment. Ishmael's legacy as the father of many nations is a powerful narrative of resilience, faith, and divine intervention, encouraging believers to trust in God's plan, even when faced with adversity. The spiritual significance of Ishmael's covenant is deeply embedded in the broader narrative of God's interaction with humanity. It challenges believers to recognize that God's blessings are not limited by human constraints, and that his promises are often fulfilled in ways that transcend human understanding. Ishmael's life story, marked by rejection, survival, and eventual prosperity, serves as a profound lesson in faith, perseverance, and the boundless nature of God's love. It reminds believers that God's plans are inclusive, his provisions are timely, and his promises are unwavering. Ishmael's covenant, therefore, is not merely a historical account, but a spiritual blueprint that continues to inspire faith and trust in God's unchanging nature. Through Ishmael's journey, believers are encouraged to find hope in God's promises, knowing that even in moments of rejection and despair, God's plan is at work, leading to a future filled with purpose and blessings. Moreover, Ishmael's story challenges traditional notions of favoritism and exclusion. While Isaac was the child of the covenant, Ishmael's blessing demonstrates that God's grace is not restricted to the chosen few, but is available to all who seek him. Ishmael's descendants, who played significant roles in shaping the ancient world, serve as a testament to the far-reaching impact of God's promises. The narrative of Ishmael invites believers to embrace a broader understanding of divine blessings, recognizing that God's plan is multifaceted and inclusive. In reflecting on Ishmael's covenant and its spiritual significance, believers are reminded of the importance of faith, resilience, and trust in God's plan. Ishmael's journey from rejection to prominence underscores the transformative power of divine grace, offering hope and encouragement to all who feel overlooked or marginalized. His story is a powerful affirmation that God's promises are steadfast, his provision is abundant, and his love is boundless. Ishmael's covenant remains a beacon of hope, illustrating that even in the most challenging circumstances, God's plan prevails, leading to a future filled with blessings and purpose. The story of Ishmael and his 12 tribes continues to resonate deeply today, offering timeless lessons on unity, division, reconciliation, and the unwavering nature of God's sovereign plan. Ishmael's journey, from being cast out to becoming the father of 12 powerful tribes, mirrors the complexities of human relationships and the ultimate reconciliation that God's plan seeks to achieve. The narrative is rich with themes of unity and division, reflecting the challenges that families, communities, and nations face even in contemporary times. The initial conflict between Sarah and Hagar, and later between Isaac and Ishmael, highlights the deep-seated divisions that can arise from jealousy, misunderstanding, and competing interests. Yet, within this story of division lies a profound lesson on the possibility of reconciliation. Despite the tensions that marked Ishmael's early life, his descendants thrived and played significant roles in shaping the ancient world. This is a testament to the idea that even amidst division, there is hope for unity when viewed through the lens of God's greater plan. For believers today, Ishmael's story serves as a poignant reminder that divisions, whether within families, communities, or nations, are not insurmountable. The tribes of Ishmael, though initially perceived as outsiders to the covenant, became integral to the historical and cultural tapestry of the ancient Near East. This narrative encourages believers to seek reconciliation, understanding that unity is not merely the absence of conflict, but the presence of a shared purpose and mutual respect. In a world often marked by division, be it political, social, or religious, the story of Ishmael and his descendants calls for a commitment to bridge gaps, foster dialogue, and build relationships grounded in love and respect. The Ishmaelites' journey from rejection to prominence underscores the transformative power of unity, showing that reconciliation is not only possible but also essential for collective progress and peace. Moreover, Ishmael's story exemplifies God's sovereign plan, emphasizing that no tribe, person, or nation is forgotten by God. Ishmael, though not the child of the primary covenant, was never abandoned by God. His covenant with Ishmael stands as a powerful reminder that God's plans encompass all of humanity, extending His grace and blessings to every individual and nation. This reassurance is particularly significant in a world where many feel overlooked, marginalized, or forgotten. Ishmael's descendants, despite their initial exclusion, became a vital part of history, contributing to trade, culture, and regional politics. This narrative serves as a profound encouragement to believers, affirming that God's plan includes everyone, regardless of their circumstances or status. The 12 tribes of Ishmael, with their diverse contributions and enduring legacy, highlight the inclusive nature of God's promises, offering hope to all who feel unseen or insignificant. For believers today, this understanding fosters a sense of belonging and purpose, reinforcing the belief that God's plan is sovereign and inclusive. It challenges the notion of exclusivity, encouraging believers to embrace a broader perspective that acknowledges and values the contributions of all people. Ishmael's story invites believers to trust in God's plan, even when the path seems uncertain or the outcome unclear. It serves as a reminder that God's timing is perfect, His promises are steadfast, and His love is boundless. In moments of doubt, when the journey appears fraught with challenges, Ishmael's life offers reassurance that God's provision and guidance are ever present. The encouragement drawn from Ishmael's story is particularly relevant in today's world, where uncertainty often looms large. Economic instability, social unrest, and personal struggles can lead to feelings of despair and hopelessness. Yet Ishmael's journey, from rejection and hardship to becoming the father of many nations, offers a beacon of hope. It demonstrates that even in the most challenging circumstances, God's promises hold true. Believers are encouraged to trust in God's provision, knowing that His plans are for their welfare and not for harm. Ishmael's story teaches that setbacks are not the end, but often the beginning of a greater purpose that God is orchestrating behind the scenes. Furthermore, Ishmael's life encourages believers to persevere in faith even when faced with adversity. Hagar's moment of despair in the wilderness, when she thought all hope was lost, was transformed by God's intervention and provision. This moment serves as a powerful metaphor for believers who find themselves in difficult situations, reminding them that God sees their struggles and is ready to provide at the right time. The well of Bir Lahai Roi, where Hagar encountered God, symbolizes the assurance that God's presence is constant, even in the most desolate places. This narrative encourages believers to remain steadfast in their faith, trusting that God's provision will come, often in unexpected ways. The story of Ishmael and his 12 tribes also challenges believers to reflect on their own roles in God's plan. Just as Ishmael's descendants contributed significantly to history, believers are called to make meaningful contributions to their communities and the world at large. It encourages a sense of responsibility to use one's gifts, talents, and resources for the greater good, trusting that even small contributions can have lasting impacts. Ishmael's legacy is a testament to the enduring influence of faith, resilience, and perseverance, inspiring believers to live purposefully and faithfully. In conclusion, the story of Ishmael's 12 tribes offers invaluable lessons for believers today. It highlights the importance of unity and reconciliation, demonstrating that divisions can be overcome through mutual respect and shared purpose. It affirms God's sovereign plan, reassuring believers that no one is forgotten in His grand design. It provides encouragement to trust in God's promises, even in the face of uncertainty, and inspires believers to persevere in faith, knowing that God's provision is always at hand. Ishmael's journey from rejection to prominence serves as a powerful reminder that God's plans are inclusive, His promises are steadfast, and His love is boundless. As believers navigate the complexities of modern life, the lessons from Ishmael's story offer hope, guidance, and reassurance, encouraging them to trust in God's sovereign plan and to contribute meaningfully to the world around them. The story of Ishmael and his 12 tribes is not just ancient history. It's a testament to God's promises, faithfulness, and the intricate ways He weaves lives and nations into His plan. From Ishmael's birth amidst conflict to God's covenant that blessed him with 12 tribes, his journey reflects themes of resilience, divine provision, and the boundless reach of God's grace. Each tribe, with its unique contributions to trade, culture, and history, stands as a testament to the enduring legacy of Ishmael's descendants. This story reminds us that no matter our circumstances, God's promises are steadfast. Ishmael's life teaches us that even when we feel rejected or overlooked, God's plan for us is never forgotten. His covenant with Ishmael is a powerful example of how God's faithfulness extends beyond human limitations, ensuring that His blessings reach all people and nations. As we reflect on the journey of Ishmael and his 12 tribes, we are reminded of the importance of faith, perseverance, and trust in God's plan. Ishmael's story challenges us to see beyond our immediate struggles and trust that God is working behind the scenes to fulfill His promises in our lives. It also encourages us to embrace unity, seek reconciliation, and contribute positively to our communities, just as Ishmael's descendants did through their economic, cultural, and social endeavors. The lessons from Ishmael's life are timeless, urging us to trust in God's provision, remain steadfast in our faith, and believe in the greater purpose that God has for each of us. Let's take a moment to pray together. Wherever you are, I invite you to repeat this prayer after me. Lord, thank you for the story of Ishmael and the lessons we can learn from his journey and descendants. Help us trust in your promises and see your hand in every part of our lives. Guide us to remain faithful, even in times of uncertainty, and remind us that your plans for us are always for our good. Teach us to embrace unity, seek reconciliation, and live purposefully, knowing that your love and blessings extend to all. Amen. Now I'd love to hear from you. Which tribe's story stood out to you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I can't wait to read them. Your insights and reflections add so much value to this community, and I truly appreciate every single one of you who takes the time to engage with these teachings. If you found this video insightful and enriching, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with others who might benefit from this story, and subscribe to the channel for more in-depth biblical teachings. Your support helps this community grow and allows us to continue exploring the rich stories of the Bible together. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey through the complete story of the 12 tribes of Ishmael. I appreciate your time, your engagement, and your desire to dive deeper into God's Word. Stay blessed, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next video.